Testing, testing. The microphone is working. I actually bought myself a wireless microphone for, over break. Yeah, it was cheap. It's a piece of junk, I'm sure. But I'm excited because I used to have a tether. Now I'm just hoping that this microphone works. I'll show you where you can get these videos. We're live right now. It's very exciting. But I'll show you where you can get them in just a minute. So getting back to the homework. So the first time you do this, you'll have to sign up, go through the whole process, pay the money. But then you'll be able to access the homework. And you can access the homework directly from the links in Moodle. Let me go back. Where is my Moodle? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. And I will remind you of this. However, when in doubt, I didn't want to label these like with dates because things shift. But in general, what you're going to find is that, for example, January 13th through 17th, this will be Monday, this will be Wednesday, this will be Friday. So you get it, and then down here, and so on. So as we go through the class, things might shift. I'll move them around. I'll try to remind you, for example, at the end of today, I'll let you know if I'm pretty sure that you'll be doing this homework for Monday. Well, your homework is to get signed up for Newton and to do this. It's not hard. It's easy assignment. Hopefully we'll get through the material, but even if we don't, it's all just, it's easy. It's not the hard stuff. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see. We were going through the syllabus, weren't we? Give me a sec to get back to this. There. Yeah, go ahead.
So homework is for the class that day, or is it for the class the following day? So
that day, yeah. So that.
Homework you want done before class.
Yeah, and I'll clarify, at the end of class today, hopefully I'll be able to tell you, definitely do that first one for Monday. In fact, you might as well. Let's just say that we're going to do that first one for Monday, and then the second one that's listed under next week is for Wednesday. That's when it's due. Yeah. And it's just having to put dates in there. Well, also, I know that things will change. We will get bogged down on some subjects, or we might go a little quicker on some. So I like to leave it a little bit. So I didn't put dates in the titles, but you can figure it out. And when in doubt, just do the next one. It's not hard. You can do it. It'll be fine. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. We've got a bunch of stuff that I'm required by the institution to put in my syllabus that I'd left out of your card stock because I thought you probably wouldn't care that much. But you can look this over online if you want to. There's various objectives. And then we get down to the policies. I abbreviated the policies considerably on your card stock because what you need to know about class attendance is just don't skip. Don't skip. It's simple. But there is an attendance policy. There is a link to that attendance policy online. I will take attendance at the beginning of class. I did it today. There are some minor. I mean, you're all adults. You can make choices. You don't have to come to class every single day. However, you should come to the majority of days. If you skip more than 3 full weeks of any class, not just mine, any class on campus, you will be administratively withdrawn from the class. So I guess if you get sick of a particular class, you could just start skipping it and eventually you'll be booted. But it's just a pain to deal with, so don't skip or drop in the normal way. If you want to drop, just drop. But I wouldn't recommend. This isn't that hard of a class. Okay, so that's the attendance policy. If you do have concerns or questions, feel free to bug me about those. So late work. This I have a little bit more on your card stock than the attendance thing. Basically, if you can turn in stuff late. I don't recommend it because the later it is, the less it's worth, and also the less it's worth to you in terms of your learning and meeting the goals that you have for yourself. But you can turn in stuff late. The homework. Quizzes, I never make up quizzes. So one thing you should know, we'll get to it in a bit, it's down at the bottom, is we have a quiz every single day in here, except for today. And I'm just a big fan of frequent low stakes assessments. So frequent meaning every single day, low stakes, they're worth almost nothing. So if you flunk one, who cares? Well, I know you care. But it's not going to bring you from an A to a D. It's just going to make you from an A to an A. And then if you flunk 10 or 12 quizzes, then maybe you'll go to an A-. So quizzes, I never make up quizzes. If you skip because you were trying to catch up on that show that you're streaming, then I just give you a 0 for the quiz, and even that isn't that big of a deal. And if you miss because of an excused absence, like you're at that international foosball tournament, then you will it'll just go in as a blank, and it doesn't count. Doesn't count for or against you. So don't worry about making up quizzes. Tests can't be made up unless you let me know. So I know, you might get into an accident on the way here and miss the test. But generally, you should know if you're going to miss a test. We can make arrangements, deal with it ahead of time. So, so that's the deal there. I think that's all on your card stock. And then planned absences for school, just to reiterate, you might have some sort of school-sponsored trips or sporting events that you have to be in. You know the deal. There's a whole list of excused absences that would, I guess is under this class attendance policy. Just communicate. That's the best way to head off any problems. It's when someone disappears and I have no idea that I start thinking, well, guess they're a loser. And then what do you do with that? So just communicate. If you come and talk to me, generally, like, I'm pretty I don't know, gracious in terms of, I mean, I'm not going to just willy-nilly change grades because I think you're a good person, but I'll probably look on you with some favor, especially if you come humbly and say, I'm so sorry. I don't know. We've all been in this position. I was when I was in your seats. Come on, we know how it goes. Things happen. Okay, now for the fun one. Let's see, I think it's, the next one on your card stock, and it's the next one here, classroom decorum. So laptops, cell phones, tablets, and I know that some of you need to finish up that Clash Royale match right now. Finish it up, because that's the last one you should be doing in here. So laptops, cell phones, tablets, prohibited in class unless we're actually using them. And it is painfully obvious when someone is crotching their cell phone. So don't do that either. Or if you're like I've seen girls with long hair kind of let it drape down and have it hidden with the earbud in. I've seen that. It's kind of obvious, more obvious than you would think. So don't do it. There will be plenty of times when we need to use our laptops. We're going to be using Microsoft Excel in here, and we're going to need to talk about that as well. But in general, though, don't bring your stuff. Now, I realize, though, so just as an addendum, and this isn't on your card stock, but it's on your syllabus, that some of you might have a tablet. I have one where you can write notes. Give me a sec here. I'll switch to my note-taking app. Oh, whoops, that's not it. Wow, this is great. So you might be writing this right now. I love this class. Oh, you can't see what I just wrote. Darn. There it is. Okay. So you might be, you might take notes on your tablet, and it's just your practice, and that's okay. Just come talk to me, basically. Just let me know that that's what you're doing, and we will make arrangements. I actually have a super short, just like a little covenant, if you will, which we will sort of fill out together and say, listen, this is the way that we're going to use this. We're not going to be looking at Instagram or whatever during the class. So, yeah, if you're one of those people who use the tablet for notes, I'm happy for you to do that. I've had students do that in the past with great effect. So please do that. Inclement weather policy. If Knox County is under a level 2 weather emergency, use your best judgment. We sometimes cancel classes here. And so when that happens, check your email, and I'll let you know what to do. Generally, I guess because it's been a tradition, I come to campus if campus is closed, mainly as a sort of a flex, saying if I can get here, why can't you people? But really, it's no judgment. It's more that it's a tradition that I'm always here if there's a snow day, just to say that I've done it for years. So you can come visit me. I guess that's all to say. You want a cup of hot chocolate? Come on over. We can have hot chocolate and talk statistics. I could even, I've got games in my office if you prefer playing games instead of doing statistics. Let's see. What other thing to say about this? I don't think there's anything else to say. That reminds me, though, I need to And this is, yeah, something, I knew that there would be something that I forgot. I'm going to jot this down now. That I need to set up a remind. So use the Remind app. Remind thing, whatever, I don't know what it's called. I'll just put that down in my notes. Because there might be the occasion where I'm not in class, not because of inclement weather, but because maybe I was biking to school and broke my femur and was rushed to the hospital. And I want to assure you that once I get this set up, I'll get it set up, and on Monday we can deal with it. The first thing I do when I break my femur would be to use the Remind app to alert you that you don't have to come to class. And then I would call 911 and let them know that they need to come pick me up on the Mount Vernon Ave Bridge or wherever it was that I was hit by the truck. Anyway, we'll get that set up. Generally, I'm here, but if for some reason I can't be here, I will let you know so that you can sleep another half hour or whatever it is. Okay, so far so good. Almost done, and then we'll take all the questions that you have because I know you have some. Okay, at the bottom of both the cardstock and I made it cardstock, although I realized it's maybe not as applicable to this class, so that you can shove it inside your textbook and use it as a bookmark, although we don't have a physical book in this class, but you might have a notebook. You could shove it in. Anyway, this is probably the thing that you're most interested in is how can I get my A? Well, here's how you can get your A. Let's see, where are those glasses? I guess I could just look at the screen. There are three, so we'll just go through this quickly. Three exams, comprehensive tests. They're comprehensive, meaning that when you get to the third one, it will cover everything up until that point in the semester, although the majority of it will be covering the stuff from spring break till that date. Those are tentative test dates. I'm hoping that I get my tests on those days, and I want to warn you right now that one of those test dates, 2/21, I always have an exam the day before spring break, mainly to punish anyone who wants to go on a cruise and leave a day early. So you can cancel your plans now so that you're here on the 21st. If there are serious issues, because I know that there might be something, I don't know, we can come talk to me. People make choices, and I don't agree with them sometimes, but hey, we can work together to make this. But those and the other two dates, the 31st of this month and the 28th of March, those are a little bit more tentative. I think you can be pretty sure that 2/21 won't change unless, I don't know. I can't imagine that I would change that because, well, there could be a blizzard that week. I don't know. Okay, so there's that. And those, if you're worried about them, the week before, I usually put like old exams on our Moodle site. You can look at them. You can study with your friends. You can come see me. By the way, that's the best way to, well, we'll get to that in a bit. But how to succeed in this class, make friends in here, do your homework with a friend, study with a friend or two, and you'll be guaranteed to be up in this range and not down here. Okay, so moving on, projects. So we have a series of projects in here. The first one we'll talk about next week. We need to have a little bit of content under our belts before we get to that project, but it will involve getting data sets and using those data sets to do some of the things that we do in class with the boring stuff. So I don't know what you're interested in, but maybe you're interested in, I don't know, international bicycling or whatever it is, then you might find a data set that is related to that interest and you can use it for your projects. We'll talk about that next week. Don't worry. It's not going to be that hard. Actually, the worst part of that is finding a good data set. So yes, if you want to worry about anything, that next week is going to be hard. Daily quizzes, I already mentioned this, and every now and then I'll throw some other activity at you during the class. So anything that happens in class is going to be in that category. Notice that, okay, and then online assignments. So notice that you have a lot of control over half of your grade. So the daily quizzes, most people do reasonably well on those. I mean, you're going to bomb a few of them, but you're going to do relatively well. Online assignments, that's those assignments I showed you, you should get 100% in that. Because the way that those, I guess I didn't really fully explain them, the way that those online assignments work is you do the work until you get it right. And that you're not graded on how many you get wrong, you're just graded on did you get it right eventually. So it may take you a little longer than your friends, or maybe you'll get it first thing. But however long it takes, you're going to get it done. By the way, with those online assignments, I've had students come to me and say, I cannot get over this hump. There's this one assignment I can't get done. And I will sit next to them in my office, and they will do the assignment. I will twiddle my thumbs, and they'll get stuck, and I'll say, do this. And then they'll do it. We will get through it together. So if you get stuck on something and just can't get over a hump, come see me. I will help you, and we will get it done. So there's 50% of your grade. The projects as well, if you do them, by the way, I have videos of myself doing the projects. So if you are worried about that, you just do what I do on the videos and you're good. So everyone should get 100 here. Daily quizzes, maybe not so much, but this half your grade, almost guaranteed 100%. Comprehensive final exam, bright and early in the morning, May 1st. So I guess we get to celebrate May Day. But 20% of your grade there. So there's the grade, how it's made up. And there's the grading scale, which is pretty standard. So let me pause here, because this stuff is the stuff that I'm required to go over with you. But, let's talk about this stuff first. So the stuff on your cardstock, stuff that we just went over. What sorts of worries or fears, concerns, clarifications do you have? Wow. Well, if you think of something even later today, feel free to bug me. I'm happy to answer those questions. Okay, now let's do this stuff, boilerplate stuff. This is on every syllabus, but I learned recently that not everyone. Oh, you've got Oz.
Our last comprehensive test is the end of March. What are we doing for an entire month for the comprehensive?
We are okay. So these are roughly 3 weeks of classes are in between. So between now and here is about 3 weeks of classes. And then from here to here is about 3 weeks of classes. And then from here to here, 3 weeks of classes. And then from here to here is about 3 weeks of classes. There is Easter, which eats up a week. And I forget what else, but it's
Spring break.
no, spring break is between these two. So it's about 3 weeks of classes. So it'll be about the same. So yeah, there's 13 weeks in the semester. So I did my best to even it up. Yeah, it might be that this gap is 3 weeks and a day or two, but that's about 3 weeks. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. It's well, it is what it is. It's fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Anything else? Other concerns? Yeah, thanks for. Okay, well let's go on to the stuff that I have to do. Academic integrity. So let me just briefly explain how that works here. So what you need to know is that you shouldn't cheat, I guess. That's the takeaway that you should do. But if you do, it's relatively highly likely that you're going to be caught for a variety of reasons. I've been surprised in the past at how inept people are at cheating. Just honestly, it's surprising how it's so obvious, and it's like, well, I got to deal with it. It's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for you. So don't do it. But if you cheat, here's what I have to do. I'm required by my contract to do this. And all faculty have to do the same thing. So I contact academic affairs, and they tell me if this is your first, second, or third time cheating. If it is your first time cheating, then I have a little bit of leeway as to what the punishment is. So generally, though, the punishment is going to be a 0 for whatever it is that you were cheating on. So let's say you cheat on an exam. And I had someone cheat on an exam for me my very first semester here, and it was a math major and his girlfriend. They cheated, collaborated on the exam. I caught them. Like I said, it's more obvious than you would think. And ended up having to give both of them a 0 for that exam. And they both ended up passing the class, but the math major, went from an A to a C. So passed with a C, which is tragic. So don't do it. Don't cheat. So that's if it's the first offense. If it's the first offense, I get to there's there's things that go into that decision. I would collaborate with my or talk with my department chair and maybe my dean about like how do I deal with this. But generally, it ends up dropping. You get a 0 on the thing. If it is your second, so this is all outlined in this academic integrity policy. You can click on that if you want. If it is the second offense, then it's out of my hands. So when I contact the academic affairs, they say, oh, this is the student's second time they've done this, then it's out of my hands. They deal with it. I think the standard is it's a 0 for the course.